There's been an increased interest in downtown of late, and behind us you can see there are many architectural treasures downtown. So much of what we love about downtown is the buildings, and we have quite a variety here. Today we're going to be discussing the Thermal Basin Fire District with Fire Chief Ed Davis. Welcome, Ed.
Thanks, Terry.
And let's start off by explaining what the Thermal Basin Fire District is.
Okay, and let me preface this by saying a fire district itself is a defined geographic area within the community where, because of heightened fire danger, either due to climatic conditions or the terrain or man-made conditions, the threat of fire is greatly increased. In the case of the Thermal Basin Fire District, we have all of those conditions that exist in downtown Hot Springs.
I see. Well, why is the Thermal Basin Fire District needed?
That's a really great question, and it's the core question of why the fire district was formed. The Thermal Basin Fire District encompasses all of the icons of Hot Springs, all of its architectural treasures, like the building behind us, Dugan Stewart Building, the building to our left, which is the Medical Arts Building, and all of these buildings need to be protected from the threat of fire. The downtown area of Hot Springs has seen 4 conflagrations, numerous large-scale fires, and other emergencies that throughout its history have changed the economic strata of the community. And so the Thermal Basin Fire District is just another means of being able to reduce the threat of fire and to give the city the ability to manage that loss prior to the time that it would occur.
Now, there's been a lot of talk about unsafe buildings downtown. I think we need a definition. What is an unsafe building?
Yeah, an unsafe building is a structure that, because of lack of means of egress or lack of maintenance or other conditions associated with the operation of the building or just the building's presence, have brought about conditions that are either a threat to that property or the surrounding properties. And due to the entries in the fire code that define what these unsafe issues are, many of these crown jewels of the city's architecture have gotten to the point, either through lack of maintenance or due to problems that exist with existing fire suppression systems, that they have been declared unsafe.
You spend a lot of time downtown addressing these issues, don't you?
Yes, ma'am. We began the process of evaluating the community's legacy structures back in 2012. We issued a series of reports that were given to the city manager's office, the board of directors, and also issued to the public concerning the condition of these buildings. So we have been evaluating them for some time, have a pretty good idea of the structures that are safe and unsafe. There are 74 multi-story structures in the downtown area, 24 of which have been declared unsafe by the fire department.
Yes. And so how will these unsafe conditions, particularly in the legacy structures, be corrected?
Well, they'll be corrected through several different ways. The application of Arkansas State Building Code, which is Volume 2 of the Fire Code, or through the application of an alternate code, which is referred to as the existing Historic Building Code. That allows these buildings to be brought back to a level of safety without having to apply the full weight of the building code. Now, the property owner has every right to apply the building code to the property if that's what he chooses to. There would be an increased cost of about 3 to 4 times if the property owner decided they wanted to apply the building code instead of the existing historic building code.
So the existing building code is an easier way for downtown
yes,
property owners to address those unsafe issues.
Absolutely, and we went through the State Fire Marshal's office to get permission to apply that to all of the buildings within the Thermal Basin Fire District that meet that historic criteria.
Now, whose responsibility is it to make those corrective measures?
Depends upon the way the lease is structured. Ultimately, the property owner is the one who, by law, has the actual responsibility to keep the building safe. But the lease could be structured in such a way that it was the occupant that would be required to do it. It just all depends upon how the lease is structured between the property owner and the tenant. But normally, under state law, it is the property owner.
Looking at the big picture here, what is the city's intention regarding the Thermal Basin Fire District?
Well, from a fire department standpoint, it's of course to establish a higher level of life safety and to preserve these legacy structures. From the city itself looks at it from more of a macroeconomic view, and that would be to try and add a higher level of economic activity downtown, to try and make downtown more of a revenue producer for the private sector and for the public sector as well.
So ultimately the goal is to help downtown thrive and progress.
Yes, ma'am, in every way.
Great. Ed, thank you for giving us some of the basics about the Thermal Basin Fire District today. And if people have any questions or concerns or comments, if they want to contact you for more information about it, what would be the phone number?
321-6972 at the fire department, or edavis@cityhs.net on the internet.
Wonderful. Thank you for joining us today. And next week we'll bring you more city news.